Next up, we have Team Biochar. And to present for Team Biochar is Emmanuel Hanyabi, who's working towards a master's degree in land use and environmental science at the University of Cape Coast in his native Ghana. Emmanuel, good to have you here today. How you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
Doing fantastic. Looking forward to your presentation. Go ahead and take it away.
That's great. Good morning. I'm Emmanuel Hanyabi. I'm representing Team Biochar. Our proposal is about recycling pineapple waste into soil amendment. The Millennium Development Goal focused in attaining ecological feasible sanitation system to significantly reduce sanitation problems across the world. FAO 2019 reported that Ghana produces up to about 677,122 metric tons of pineapple annually. In 2017, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations rates Ghana as the 12th highest pineapple producing country in the world. The increasing production of pineapple processed items results in massive waste generation. This is mainly due to elimination of components unsuitable for human consumption. A study conducted by Abdahi 2013 discovered that rough handling of the fruit and exposure to adverse environmental conditions during storage and transportation can cause up to 55% of the product waste. FAO 2019 also reported that the pineapple waste can make up to 65 to 67% of each weight of the pineapple produced. We can imagine the amount of waste that can be generated from the 677,122 metric tons of pineapple produced annually in Ghana. This becomes a nuisance to the environment. Bila et al. 2019 and Shima et al. 2019 stated that the best way to recycle this waste into useful amendment to increase crop yield and reduce adverse environmental impact is to convert it to biochar and compost. And by so doing, Team Biochar is helping to achieve Sustainable Development Goals 1, 2, 3, 6, 11, and 13, which talk about no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, clean water and sanitation, sustainable cities and communities, climate action, respectively. In Ghana, actors involved in the pineapple value chain find it difficult to dispose their waste. They either bury the waste or they burn the waste. Or in another way, they dispose the waste indiscriminately. And this brings a lot of implication to the environment, such as air pollution, water pollution, flooding, disease outbreak. It also kills soil beneficial microorganisms. It also leads to global warming. All this leads to environmental pollution. Our goal is to convert all the pineapple waste generated along the pineapple value chain into useful soil amendment, that is biochar and compost, by using affordable, environmental friendly, and efficient biochar reactor known as the ISA barrel. Now our solution. After gathering the pineapple waste, we will then sun dry the pineapple waste. By the help of our ISA barrel, we will paralyze the pineapple waste into biochar. Then the biochar will be applied as a soil amendment. And when the crops are being matured and the fruit is being harvested, the waste will then be used. Then the process will start in a circular manner. Now the details of our solution. Our waste will be gathered from the farms, the processing units, and the marketplaces. We will then convey it to the transfer station with the help of transportation system. We also create a depot for the farmers and the processors and the market sellers to deposit the waste for us in order to reduce adverse environmental impact. But when the waste gets to the transfer station, we use the waste to prepare the biochar and the compost. But in the compost preparation, we are not going to depend solely on the pineapple waste. We will use other nitrogen sources such as poultry manure and carbon source, which as such as constover, in order to decrease the CN ratio, because the lower the CN ratio, the faster the decomposition. When we get our biochar, we will sell it in a form of fertilizer. And when this is being applied on the field by the farmers, the waste that will be generated from the crops that they have been harvested, we will then use that waste again, then our process will start in a circular manner. Why we don't recommend inorganic fertilizer? Well, it is very costly for the farmers to purchase, especially the smallholder farmers. When we come to the environmental perspective, such as the air, some fertilizers, such as the nitrogen fertilizers, example like urea, release nitrous oxide into the atmosphere, causing to global warming. When we come to the water, for instance, when fertilizers are leached into water bodies as a result of heavy rainfall, it enriches these water bodies with minerals and nutrients, and this depletes the oxygen level in the water, leading to the death of aquatic life. It also pollutes drinking water for other rural areas. When we come to the soil, for instance, application of fertilizer, that is the inorganic fertilizer, results into soil acidification, mineral depletion, and it also kills soil beneficial microorganisms. Now, our prototype. We have the picture of our biochar and how we are going to package it. And we also have our field demonstration. Now, our business model and strategy. Our main product is biochar. We have other competitors in the market, and the market price for fertilizer in Ghana is $24. We are going to sell our own at 20% cheaper than our competitors. That will be $19.2. By so doing, we will capture a large market size and also be able to penetrate into the market. Our products will be sent to retail shop for the farmers to come and buy. We also give our numbers out and also advertise for the farmers to reach us, then we deliver the product to them. We also give promotion to farmers who give us the pineapple waste to prepare the biochar and the compost. We will involve them in our field demonstration for them to understand and appreciate what biochar is in terms of the production, the quantity to apply, and the time to apply the biochar. Now, the impact of biochar. Biochar sequesters a lot of carbon, and living organisms depend on this carbon for their survival and perform their function in the soil, such as decomposition of organic matter. They also pore spaces in the soil that helps in aeration and infiltration capacity. Biochar improves cation exchange capacity, helps in aggregate stability, and improve water holding capacity. Therefore, helps in the quality of the soil in order to get good results when we grow our crops. Some soil-borne diseases, such as root rot in tomato, and soil-borne pathogens, such as Fusarium and Phytophthora, can be suppressed as a result of biochar application. It also helps in food security. There will be enough food which will be safe and nutritious for all people. Biochar application also helps in climate change mitigation. It fixes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere into the soil. It also minimizes the production of methane gas from the soil. Biochar application also helps to soften nitrous oxide and restrict its escape into the atmosphere. Now, biochar has a lot of functional group. That is the oxygen-containing functional group. That is a hydroxyl and carboxyl group. And these have a strong relationship with heavy metals, such as electrostatic attraction. This helps to remove the heavy metal in the soil as a contaminant, as in the water as a contaminant. I present to you Team Biochar. We are a motivated group with interdisciplinary background in 4 different countries, bonded with a focus of solving the wicked problem in the economy of Ghana. I also present to you Our mentor, Professor Kwame Adjei-Frimpong, Professor in Soil Fertility and Soil Science. And our mentors, Environmental Protection Agency Ghana, Climate Innovation Center Ghana, and Blue Skies Ghana Limited. And also, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, where we conduct most of our lab analysis. Thank you for your attention, Team Biochar.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Great presentation. Love that you shared your mentors and partners as well. Thank you for your tenacity for this work. We're going to give the judges a few minutes to talk amongst themselves, and then they'll do some Q&A with you. So in the meantime, we have learned that you recently won a 6-month scholarship through the Intra-Africa Mobility Project. What is that? What has that enabled you to do? Tell us all about it.
Okay, the Intra-Africa Mobility Project gives students the opportunity to travel to different countries in order to broaden their horizon and showcase their research work. And by so doing, I've met a lot of people in my field of study, and which have given me the opportunity to share thoughts and what is new in my field of study. And this helped me to survive in the academic discipline.
Good for you. And what has inspired you to do this work?
Waste management in Ghana, it's a problem. And biochar application is at its infancy in Ghana.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Thank you for also gathering your teammates to do that. Judges, all set? Ready for your questions? Ready to go?
I guess.
Right. Great. Emmanuel, you're up with the judges now. Take it away.
All right, Michael, you go ahead. You got.
Sure, I'll jump in.
Yeah.
Hi, Emmanuel. Great presentation, and I am throughout this competition have gotten educated myself on biochar, an area of soil science that I'm not very familiar with. So, thank you for all the work you and the team have been doing on this. So it seems to me in the scientific literature, there are quite a few studies on the benefits of biochar and not very many studies on the risks of biochar. So my question is on the risks. There seem to be some emerging studies on how biochar increases soil dust emissions, including very, very small particles of particulate matter called PM10. And biochar may also be composed of some hazardous chemicals because when you burn anything, you generate some hazardous chemicals, including substances called PAHs, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. And so my question is, have you done any analysis to characterize the chemical composition of your biochar and any potential health impacts, human health impacts, because of dust or those chemicals, or soil health impacts?
Yes, we've done that. We know biochar has a lot of consequences, a lot of carbon. And due to its nature, it's very porous. And some living organisms hide in it as a habitat to prevent themselves from predators.
Interesting.
I wasn't aware of that. And it sounds like you have or have not done chemical composition studies on your biochar from the pineapple waste.
Yeah, we've done the physicochemical properties of the biochar that we produce. Such, we have the ash content, the cation exchange capacity, the exchangeable cations and exchangeable acidity.
Great. And my understanding, basic understanding, is that that's really important, especially the cationic exchange within the soil. I'll turn it over to my other judges given the time. Thank you so much.
The pleasure.
Emmanuel, go ahead, Alicia. You're on mute, Alicia.
Pardon me. I'd like to ask on a similar thread, why pineapple waste is is a feedstock of choice for biochar in your case. Are there other sources of feedstock that are equally good, or is pineapple waste give you a particular composition of biochar that is advantageous from your perspective?
Not really, but the location that we are surrounded by communities who are into massive pineapple production. And by so doing, they generate a lot of waste in the markets, the processing units. But we've used other materials such as the corn stover and the corn cob to produce the biochar. But our main focus was on the pineapple waste because it is being generated in the community, or the community that the university is established. And this becomes a nuisance in the environment. That is why we intend to use the pineapple waste to prepare our biochar.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
I have a question, Emmanuel, and that is, when you're successful, your model requires inputs of large amounts of pineapple waste here. Have you thought about how your model needs to change, especially on the economic side, if farmers decide they don't want to give you their pineapple waste anymore and they want to charge you for their pineapple waste?
They will actually give it to us because, as I said earlier on, the biochar production is at its infancy. If they tend to use the pineapple waste to prepare their own biochar, they don't know the technical know-how of the biochar production. And in the biochar production, we don't want to produce ash. When you produce ash, you are then reducing the stability of the biochar. And because they don't have the technical know-how to do that, they will not produce quality biochar that can improve the soil quality or sequester a lot of carbon in the soil.
What are they doing with the pineapple waste now?
They give it to the piggery production people. They feed it to the piggery production people. And in the piggery production, we have other materials or other feed that they give to them that improve upon the health of the pigs. But if they use the pineapple waste, for instance, some has thorns, especially the leaves, for instance, when they consume it, it becomes a problem for them.
Understood.
Right.
Can you give us a bit of insight into the numbers, Emmanuel, of like how many pineapples does the unit take, and how long does it take to convert the pineapple waste into the biochar?
Okay, depending on the nature of the pineapple waste, it takes only 30 minutes to complete the pyrolysis. When we compare it to the other materials that we use to produce the biochar, like the corn stover may last like 45 minutes, and the rice husks may last like 50 minutes before the pyrolysis will end. But because of the nature of the pineapple waste, when it gets dried, it becomes the weight reduces. And when we load it into the barrel and we started our pyrolysis, the pyrolysis time goes very fast as compared to other materials that we use to prepare the biochar.
Does that mean you can be very mobile? You can finish quickly within an hour and be in another location quite fast?
Yes, please. We can, depending on the barrel that we are using, we can send it to other places to prepare the biochar. But when we are producing in larger quantity, we have to centralize it because it can't be moved to one place to other. And this may increase the transportation costs that we may incur.
Interesting. Well, I wanted to ask, you had mentioned or in your presentation about the heavy metal reduction. Could you sort of expand upon that? I wanted to hear a little bit more about that. It sounded
okay. Okay, for biochar to qualify as heavy metal removal, it has 3 properties: the porous structure, the functional group, and the aggregate stability. Now, the abundant functional group that is the carbon, the oxygen-containing ones, that is a hydroxyl and the carboxylic group, has a strong relationship with heavy metals, such as the electrostatic attraction and ion exchange. And when this biochar is applied, and there is this attraction, that is the electrostatic and the ion exchange, it tends to remove or attach or absorption these heavy metals. Therefore, remove these heavy metals from the wastewater.
That's great. I really like that. Excellent.
Thank you.
Quick question. Have you prototyped this in the field with your potential customers?
Yes, we've done several farmers participatory approach, and they really appreciate. We've sent them to the field, and we also have farm around where they are also farming. So they have a look at what we are doing compared to what they are also doing, and there is vast difference.
Thank you.
How are we going to convince Emmanuel customers to use this, or farmers to use your service?
Sorry, come again.
How will you convince people to use your service?
By involving the farmers in the biochar application on the field, and explicitly explaining the concept of biochar or the science behind the biochar, they will appreciate and use biochar. And in another sense, I stated that some farmers, because of the cost of inorganic fertilizers, they can't purchase that. So if biochar can do exactly what inorganic fertilizer can do, then they will actually come and purchase our product, that is the biochar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.